Are you looking to transform? Well, our next guest can definitely help. Charles D'Angelo is back with some advice on how to take those first steps, which is always such a hard part to do.
It can seem overwhelming, and I know, as we were talking before the show started back, I used to weigh 360 pounds, so I know what it feels like to feel desperate, stuck, and oftentimes just lost, because there's so much information out there. So many people feel overwhelmed by the plethora of diets, of exercise programs, of DVDs, of different things that offer all sorts of real change. But I think unless a person gets in touch with what's behind the change, the why, in other words, comes up with compelling reasons to really keep themselves feeling propelled towards a goal, they'll find it a very short-lived success if they don't think about their mindset and why they need to really take some change and make some decisions that are different from the ones they've been making.
And that's really what makes your program different, is you do concentrate on that very big mind part of it all.
Of course, healthy eating is a part of it, right? I mean, you have to have a healthy diet. So you need to make sure, if nothing else today, if you're watching this and you feel stuck, maybe you weigh 100 pounds more than what you should, or maybe you're on hypertensive medication, you have high blood pressure, or maybe you're diabetic. If any of those things are true, like that young man you see in the picture, I mean, he was morbidly obese, and this lady here who, again, had to lose about 60, 70 pounds, or Michael there that lost 160 pounds.
Wow.
All these people came to me feeling lost and overwhelmed in a sense of despair. So in order to know what you want, you've got to ask yourself why you want it. And that sounds kind of trivial, right? I mean, why do I need to change? Well, all too often people start something and they do it for a couple days, and then they cheat a little bit,
yes,
and then they tell themselves, I'm going to get back to it Monday. I mean, is that you? Have you been there? And if you have, then you got to ask yourself, why? How many people do you know that have lost an incredible amount of weight? Maybe you know that person personally, maybe you've done it, and you only go back to the pattern after losing the weight. And you ask that person, didn't you feel good when you were healthier? And they say, yeah. And you say, well, why didn't you stick with it? And they say, I don't know.
So true.
I think our brains have kind of what I would call almost a thermostat-like feature. If we don't reset that mental thermostat to a more deserving level, if we always think that we are less than deserving, if we don't think that we deserve to feel good, if we don't think that we deserve to be medication-free, if we don't deserve a good relationship, then oftentimes, if that's our unconscious thinking, if that's what we were programmed with when we were younger, and we don't really work to change those paradigms or those thoughts or those fixed patterns of thinking, we will continue to relive that over and over again despite our conscious awareness. So we can do something for the short while consciously, but if you don't really work on that unconscious part of yourself, those fixed patterns that you might not even be aware of, you're going to find yourself falling back into those old choices that really got you to the place to come see me in that first visit.
And that's when a coach comes in handy to say, hey, listen, look at what you're doing, because you might not even realize it, even though it makes sense
critical.
when you think about it.
That's critical. I think that a lot of people are in a pattern of behavior they don't really think through, and they know they want to change. It's not a question of do I want to change, but unless they really bring the urgency to the present, if they wait for urgency to necessitate change, they wait until their doctor says you're a type 2 diabetic, you're going to go on insulin if you don't lose weight. Or if they wait until their partner says, you know what, we haven't had any intimacy in a long time, this is over, we're done. If you wait until that happens, then change isn't anything that really is predicated on your own choice. It's forced on you, and no one wants to be forced into anything. So ask yourself the question, what path am I on? Know where you really are right now and be honest with yourself, because that's the real key to change, is being honest with where you are. If you want to take a vacation and you know you want to go to Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, but you don't know what state you're in right now, how in the world are you going to plan a trip to get there? So you've got to know where you are, know why you're wanting to go, why you're wanting to make the change, and make those things compelling reasons. Make it exciting, and know that no matter how lost you might feel right now or how stuck you might feel that you are. I was 360 pounds. I lost 160 pounds. I changed my life. I've helped thousands of other people to do it, and I don't say that to impress you. I say that to impress upon you the fact if a silly 18-year-old kid back in the day could do it, and I've transformed my life and have kept the weight off, why can't you, and why can't you do it now?
So true. Well, you can find out more about Charles and his program by visiting him online. It's charlesdangelo.com. He has a great book that you should read too.
Thanks, Joy.